Caitlin bringing value to WNBA is false narrative, says Analyst. They're talking about her and Angel Reese, not WNBA. An analyst argues that the hype around Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese overshadows their actual impact on the WNBA. Read why this false narrative is gaining attention. In the world of sports, narratives can often take on a life of their own, and the case of Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA is no different. Steve Hartman and VJ Huskey, two prominent sports analysts, recently engaged in a heated discussion about whether Caitlin Clark's value to the WNBA is being overstated. Hartman is convinced that Clark is the most valuable player in league history, while Huskey argues that her influence is limited to her brand and her team, the Indiana Fever. This debate highlights the broader question of how individual star power translates into league-wide growth. Take a look. The case for Caitlin Clark's value. According to Fox Studio Radio, Steve Hartman is adamant that Caitlin Clark is the WNBA's most valuable player. His argument centers on her ability to draw crowds and generate revenue, which he believes are the ultimate measures of a player's value to the league. If you're actually talking about who is the most valuable player in the WNBA, it should unanimously be Caitlin Clark, because she puts butts in seats, Hartman asserts. He acknowledges that being the most valuable doesn't necessarily mean being the best player, but emphasizes the financial and attendance boost she brings. Also RE8. LeBron James reveals unexpected reason why he chose to play for Team USA at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Hartman points to the substantial ratings and attendance figures for Fever games as evidence. Clark's games are consistently breaking TV viewership records and filling arenas, something that was rare before her arrival. Hartman argues that the mere presence of Clark has given the WNBA an unprecedented opportunity for exposure and growth. He believes that Clark's popularity has created a buzz around the league that wasn't there before, effectively making her the most valuable asset the WNBA has. The counterargument: limited league-wide impact. VJ Huskey, however, disagrees with Hartman's assessment. He argues that the perceived league-wide value of Caitlin Clark is a false narrative. According to Huskey, the hype surrounding Clark is confined to her team, the Indiana Fever, and her personal brand rather than benefiting the entire WNBA. He points out that while Fever games enjoy high ratings and attendance, other WNBA games do not see the same level of interest. The value to the league thing I punch back at, Huskey states. She's valuable to the Fever. She hasn't been valuable to the league. He highlights the disparity in viewership between Fever games and other WNBA games, arguing that the broader league is not reaping the benefits of Clark's stardom. Huskey believes that the fascination is more about Clark and her rivalry with Angel Reese than about the league itself. Huskey also questions the sustainability of Clark's impact. He suggests that the current narrative is driven by the media's need for a compelling storyline, comparing it to a classic good guy versus bad guy setup, with Angel Reese playing the foil to Clark. He warns that this manufactured rivalry might not have lasting effects on the league's popularity once the novelty wears off. The debate over Caitlin Clark's value to the WNBA is a microcosm of the larger discussion about the impact of individual stars in team sports.